mother-in-law created a group chat called Real Family and left me out. She had no idea I could read every message. I was in the kitchen, wiping down the counter after dinner, when my husband, Elias, left his phone charging on the island. It lit up. A message preview from a group chat popped up. Real Family, and underneath it, from Beatrice Muller, his mother. We'll discuss the baby shower on Sunday. And obviously, she doesn't need to be there. My stomach clenched. That was me. No doubt about it. At first, I thought maybe it was some casual mistake, a group I wasn't in just because I wasn't biologically related. But then it hit me. Elias never mentioned a group like that. And the name, Real Family, that stung. I picked up his phone. I know I shouldn't have, but curiosity has a way of eating through morals like acid. The screen was still unlocked, and what I saw changed everything. It wasn't a group with dozens of distant cousins. It was just 7 people. His mother, his 2 sisters, his aunt, his cousin, Elias, and his father. Every single one of them was in it, except me, and for some reason, Elias never turned off message previews. I could read every single thing they said. Every dinner, every party, every celebration. All of it had been discussed, planned, really, behind my back. But that wasn't even the worst part. They talked about me. Not directly. Not in ways I could screenshot and confront without being accused of overreacting. But in those snide, poised comments that feel like paper cuts to your soul, Beatrice, we just want him to be happy. He used to laugh more before. His sister, Emily, he never used to be so distant before she came around. His aunt, she never quite bit, did she? And the knife twist. Elias never defended me. Not once. He either ignored the comments or gave the kind of dry, neutral replies that were worse than silence. Like, he didn't want to upset them more than he wanted to protect me. So, I kept reading, day after day. I never told Elias I knew. I couldn't. I needed to see how far it would go. When we sat down for dinner, he'd tell me his mom had forgotten to include me in some brunch. Or that his family was keeping things low-key this year for Christmas. Lies. All of it. And now I knew the worst betrayal wasn't from Beatrice. It was from Elias. He watched them erase me, and he let them. I wish I could say I confronted him that night. I didn't. I pretended nothing was wrong, smiled when I had to, cooked his favorite pasta the next evening, slept beside him while replaying every message in my head over and over, but something had shifted. I started planning, not for revenge, for clarity, because I wasn't sure if I was living with a man or with his mother's puppet. The next morning, I woke up before Elias and stared at his sleeping face, wondering how someone could lie so effortlessly with their silence. I had spent years thinking we were building something real, a future, a family, a partnership. But now I questioned everything. Was I just a placeholder? A distraction until he found someone his family could really approve of? That thought made me sick. Still, I played along. That week, I became the perfect wife. I cooked more, laughed more, touched his arm when I passed by. I asked him about work. I acted like nothing was wrong, and he seemed relieved. Like, he was grateful I hadn't noticed something, but I had noticed everything. By Thursday, the group chat lit up again. They were planning Elias's surprise birthday dinner. Beatrice wrote, "We'll do it at the Vineyard in Neuchâtel. Very private. Family only, of course." Emily chimed in, "Should we tell him it's just a wine tasting so she doesn't find out?" And then Elias replied, "Good idea. She's been a bit sensitive lately." I had to leave the room. I ran to the bathroom, locked the door, and sat on the cold tiles until the tears stopped burning my cheeks. Sensitive? I wasn't being sensitive. I was being erased, bit by bit. That night, I decided to test him. I mentioned I'd seen a flyer for a vineyard tasting that weekend and thought it might be nice for us to go. He hesitated, then smiled too quickly. "Oh, yeah, maybe, but I think I'll be busy Saturday," he mumbled. "Might have a work thing." I nodded. Of course. That Saturday, I let him leave. I even packed his coat for him. He kissed me on the cheek and said, "I'll be back late." I waited 10 minutes after the door closed before I opened my laptop and pulled up the group chat from the desktop syncing app. He'd forgotten I once helped him install it when he changed phones last year. The photos were already coming in. Long wooden tables covered in flowers and wine glasses. Beatrice in a pastel suit. Elias smiling, holding a glass of champagne while everyone sang to him. There was a cake, balloons, a sign behind him that said, "To our golden boy," not even a mention of me, not even a lie to include me. But then came something I didn't expect. A message from his cousin, Sophia. "She's not here, right?" Then Beatrice replied, "God, no. I'd never allow that woman near a day like this." And Elias? He reacted with a laugh emoji. That was it. No neutral reply, no ignoring, no awkward silence. He laughed. He had finally picked a side, and it wasn't mine. That night, I didn't sleep. I laid in bed with my eyes wide open, listening to the hum of the fridge and the soft ticking of the clock. Every sound louder than usual in the silence of betrayal. Elias came home just after midnight, smelling like expensive wine and someone else's affection. He kissed my forehead and whispered, "The tasting ran late." Sorry, I murmured something and turned away. The truth is, I wasn't just hurt. I was humiliated. They had laughed at me, lied to me. And for what? Because I wasn't born with a Muller name? Because I didn't wear pearls and quote opera like Beatrice wanted? I started documenting everything. Screenshots, photos, I even recorded a few voice notes to myself, just in case I ever forgot how it felt to be erased like that. One group chat at a time. A week later, another notification arrived. Beatrice, he still hasn't asked for a divorce. Do you think he's afraid? Emily, he's too soft. He hates confrontation. He needs a push. Sophia, maybe we give him one. They were plotting. Slowly, quietly, carefully, but definitely plotting. That's when I decided I wasn't going to wait around to be discarded like a failed investment. If they were going to play chess, I was going to be 5 moves ahead. I started being strategic. I found ways to bring up the idea of marriage counseling in front of Elias, lightly, casually, just to see his reaction. He flinched every time. I suggested we visit his parents for dinner. Suddenly, I was eager to reconnect, to bond with the family. He looked horrified, said they were busy, said his mom was not feeling well lately. So I sent flowers, a handwritten note. Thinking of you, Beatrice. Hope we can catch up soon. She never replied. But in the group chat, Beatrice, she's mocking me now. Amelie, she's dangerous. We need to end this. Sophia, let's just expose her. The baby thing. Maybe? The baby thing? I froze. What baby thing? There had never been a baby. I wasn't pregnant. I wasn't trying to be. What were they talking about? That night, I scrolled through months of old messages in the group, trying to find any reference. And finally, I found it. 6 months ago, Elias had told his family that I'd faked a pregnancy to keep him from leaving during a rough patch. He said I'd bought a fake test.
And if you don't want to wait for part 2, you can watch the full story on my YouTube channel. Just click share, then more, and then click the YouTube link here on my profile, or search for the channel Cooper Reddit on YouTube.